Hello, I'm David D. Hilster. I'm a critical thinker, dissident scientist, and if you're not buying exactly what mainstream physics and cosmology are selling, then this is the place for you. There are literally thousands and thousands of scientists from around the world who have been working for decades outside the mainstream, who have identified problems, fixed those problems, and who are proposing new theories and models. You won't find anything like this on YouTube, so make sure you go down below and click on the subscribe button, the little bell next to it. You'll be alerted to when our next video drops. Today, this is what I'm looking at. Well, it turns out that my video, the why special relativity is wrong, which is almost up to 7,000 views, gets a lot of comments. And once in a while, those comments get me riled up because I have an answer to the question. This was, well, you just can't take it that Einstein is famous. Well, I'm going to tell you why he's famous, and this picture has a lot to do with it. And of those who know me, can guess what's going on here. But those who don't, well, stick around. Plus, you want to stick around because I will be letting you know how to see my movie, because this same subject is in my movie, and I will tell you how to watch it for free instead of paying all of $3. Anyways, let's go forward. Well, Miranda and Einstein, what is on their head is what I'm talking about. Their heads are more famous than they are. Carmen Miranda, fruit on their head. Put fruit on your head and you're Carmen Miranda. I love life, all that kind of stuff. But do you know who she really is? Do people know that? Probably not. Can you sing a song she sang? Can you even say that sentence? Can you name a movie she was in? Only those people who are pretty darn old probably can. Did you know she was born in Portugal and was Portuguese and not Brazilian, even though she lived in Brazil and she was called the Brazilian bombshell? Did you know that? I sort of do because my wife's Brazilian, lived in Brazil, so I know kind of like thing. But Carmen Miranda Museum, you got to go to Rio de Janeiro, see it. Pretty cool. She sang in Portuguese. Yeah, that's just my pet peeve that people don't know Brazil speaks Portuguese. The only country, major country down in Latin America that does. Everybody else speaks Spanish. And of course, the image is bigger than the person. So we'll go to this person who is sort of laughing here and look at his head. Well, what's so special about his head? Well, take a look at this guy, a modern science evangelist, Michio Kaku, and he is an American science evangelist. I don't put him such a high level as Neil deGrasse Tyson because he seems to have an ego a lot less. He does actually have a video where he talks about Einstein could be actually wrong and isn't so darn arrogant. And I haven't seen any t-shirts with a halo above his head like you do with Degrassi and all that. And here another person from Back to the Future, of course, you know. Look at the hair. Of course, look at the hair. What's this one? Young Frankenstein, great movie, comical movie. And if you just go to any sort of online store, you can get this. It's not even Einstein, it's just the hair. So what are we talking about? Albert Einstein's hair. Why is this important? Well, it represents somebody who sacrifices everything for coming up with the genius ideas. They're too busy to even comb their hair. The prototype for the mad scientist. That's what we're talking about, of course. The average person doesn't know much about Einstein. I remember in the year 2005, the 100th anniversary of his miracle year, they were on the street, and I saw these interviews, and people didn't even know he was a scientist, let alone he was a physicist and all the stuff he did. The mad scientist is more well known than Einstein himself. Absolutely true. The average person doesn't really know who Einstein is. Science people, do. And the image, like Carmen Miranda, is bigger than the person. Well, bringing down an iconic image is really impossible. Why? Because the icon fills an emotional need. We need it. Put fruit on your head. Oh, I spelled that fruit. You eat. Well, forget it. Leave it on there. Fruit on your head to show you love life and want to party. Woohoo! Put those fruit on your head. Carmen Miranda, let's party, let's live life, let's dance. That kind of stuff. You put a white-haired wig on, and you are a crazy genius. And you don't even have to be Einstein. This is now divorced from a people. But then, if you look at Einstein specifically, we are also constantly bombarded with stories about how Einstein is right again. So not only do we have this really strong icon, we have the scientists continually brainwashing us that he's right. Of course, they never check it because they talk to the scientist who talks about it. Well, why do scientists talk about it? I'll give you, it's not even on here. I'll give you the fact why they do. Because it gets publicity. Because Einstein and the crazy genius scientists get you in the papers. So if you're writing an obscure thing and it shows Einstein right, all of a sudden you're all over the news. That's why they do it. And of course, if anyone who says Einstein is wrong is immediately labeled a conspiracy theorist or crazy. This continues until when? Well, it continues until people come forward and reveal that the conspiracy is actually real. The Earth revolves around the sun. Oh, it's a conspiracy. You can actually be burned, I guess. One guy is Bartholomew. I can't remember the name. But we know about all these things, Copernicus and all the stories. And yes, it turns out that they were right. At least they were right in the sense that that system is much easier to deal with than putting the Earth and the sun in the center and have all the other things fly around it. Much easier to put the point of reference there. Pluto does not have tectonic activity. Now, that's what everybody was expecting because it's way out there. It's too cold. It's a cold rock. Turned out that it's got all kinds. It's got volcanoes. And we know, of course, expanding Earth. Expanding Earth, tectonics, expansion tectonics. Let's pull a plug in there. Of course, Albert Einstein is wrong, is a conspiracy until people like us start to show it. So what do we do? What do we do? How do we bring him down? Of course, we bring him down with facts and experiments, with well-organized data, with marketable material, and attack the message and not the messenger. No, we don't hate Jewish people. If he was Italian, then they'd say we'd hate Italian people. We'd hate Americans. Well, he's German. Well, attack the message, not the messenger. How do we do that? Well, the John Chappell Philosophy Society, the CMPS, we do that. We've got a critical thinking website. It is fantastic. I am going to recruit that as I'm hell-bent. For the next year, David D. Hilster, as president of the CMPS, is going to get people, scientists, to help me out with the marketing things because it doesn't matter how good their stuff is. If you can't sell it, it doesn't matter. The Natural Philosophy Wiki, so we can put in knowledge. So if a kid wants to read about alternatives to the Big Bang, or alternatives to plate tectonics, or alternatives to the particle physics, or new models, or saying why, for instance, black holes are not the way we say they are, they can come to a place in a Wikipedia. We have natural philosophy forums where you can debate and ask questions, like GPS to Ronald Hatch, who has 30 patents, and say, hey, Einstein, it shows problems in Einstein? Tell me. We have the Chappell University for Critical Thinkers, which we are going to be launching at our conference coming up at the University of Connecticut. We have our YouTube channels like this one. We have More Than Me, and you want to look down and subscribe to those people on my channel. I have them right over here. And of course, there's a documentary, Einstein Wrong, and I promised you that you could see it for free. Well, right there is how you can see it for free. I have a link to the video for our 500 subscribers. Oh, we're already at 530, over 530. That's not too long ago. That you can see the movie for free. Well, why do I say that, and why would you want to see it? Well, because in that movie, my mom addresses this exact problem. She puts on an Einstein wig in front of a advanced physics class, and all these students probably already have PhDs because it's been, wow, it's been way over 10 years. So some of them are probably hating that they were in this movie. And she talks about exactly this. What does this hair stand for? And so you can see it. And remember, don't take what anything I say, my word or anyone else's on faith. Say it right, David. Stay critical. Stay thinking. I'm Dave D. Hilster. I'm your science therapist. Ciao for now.